What's up, LFA? What's up, bro? How's everybody doing? So after the show last night, I was like, you know what? Let me watch Timcast IRL. I was playing some video games. I was like, let me put it in the background. It's been a while since I've listened to it. Let's see what's going on. Bro, Tim is a dark motherfucker. Have you guys noticed this? Tim is pretty dark, dude. If you could open up Tim's brain and like see inside of his head, the darkness that permeates his brain is another level, dude. And he was being pretty mean to Ian, and I was laughing my ass off. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about tonight, so let's dive into the Tim Pool. It wasn't just Ian. He was I don't know. He seems upset. He seems like really upset lately, and he's just like so quick to go off the rails. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? So yeah, we're gonna watch some of the highlights from that yesterday. I got some timestamps. I'm like, let's watch this. This is too funny. I find it funny. I like Tim. I like Ian. I like both of them. So don't take this too harshly. But we're gonna make fun of the situation because that's what we do around here on some days. On some days. But what I really like about Timcast IRL is I love the dynamic between Tim and Ian. That's my favorite part. Like if you don't have Tim and Ian on the show, I don't even really watch. Like if there's not the Tim and Ian dynamic, I'm out. I don't give a shit. When I first started watching, it was like Tim and Adam, remember? Tim and Adam used to fight like fucking rabid dogs, and that was entertaining. And Ian's kind of filled that role where it's like, I don't know, there's just something about it. I love Ian. I do. He's a sweet boy. And the thing is, I probably agree more with Tim. When they have their debates, I probably agree more with Tim than I do Ian. But then I still feel bad for Ian because the way Tim attacks him. And Ian's such a sweet boy. He's just trying to have some hope at a fucked up world. And Tim just keeps crushing his dreams every 10 seconds, dude. Well, anyway, let's watch this. Let me pull this up. I got some good timestamps from it. Let's see. Here we go. Let me get the timestamps pulled up so I don't miss anything here. So this Tim talking, Tim likes to talk about the future in such a fucking dark way. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what goes on inside Tim's head, but it's pretty fucking dark, man. Hey, if you're here, go ahead, smash the thumbs up. Let's get this going. It's much appreciated. Links in the description for to support and for Discord. And let's go.
Fleeing in every direction. Yeah. You are going. The argument that what I told people is, I'm gonna hear rustling and chickens screaming. I'm gonna run out to my chicken coop with my shotgun, and there's gonna be a hipster guy with big bicycle handlebar mustache, and he's gonna have his cuffs folded up, and he's gonna be grabbing one of my chickens, and I'm gonna be like, "Don't move!" And he's gonna be like, "I'm so hungry," and he's gonna try running off with one of my birds because these people are gonna flee the cities desperate. Now the people who stay.
Tim's talking about this future where. In Tim's version of events, it's always him who's the big guy with the gun that everybody's afraid of. And he's the guy that's running shit. He's like the local like badass who's taken over and it's got all the food. And okay, Tim, you're not going to be the guy that's begging like everybody else. You're going to be the one guy that survives and is like all set. But yeah, it's a pretty dark vision Tim paints here.
Because they don't know where to go, or they got young kids. People are going to be drinking blood. Yeah. It's not an exaggeration.
There was I've said that there's this old.
This is all we've cut past a bunch of shit, but this is about what's going to happen when the economy collapses.
Old televangelist who used to say this: if God doesn't smite America, he owes Sodom and Gomorrah an apology. Like, we are just getting to that point here. I'm sorry.
It's factory farming.
Is there anything
I don't think it's factory farming.
Is there anything in the Bible about pink skies?
The sodomy. Well, it's actually interesting because I know this is not in the Bible, but in fact,
I totally missed that. They were also talking about the Northern Lights or whatever. Like you could see them in Texas, and somebody was predicting that we were close to like the end of the world because it would have destroyed our entire technological infrastructure or whatever. I totally didn't pay attention. It kind of sucks because I'm in Central Texas. If I could have seen the lights, I would have liked to have seen them.
Fatima, there is or in the Revelations of Fatima, there's some discussion about signs in the sky, but that's usually related to the Second World War because there was an aurora. There was like a unusually low aurora in the sky right at the very beginning of the Second World War.
I think we're experiencing what's called the Zanabikov effect. You could pull up a video of it, Tim.
There's like a sign in the sky in Revelation, but it's not described this way.
When a magnet rotates in space, it flips occasionally, and then it continues to rotate, and then it flips again and keeps. It's called the Zanabikov effect. You can pull up a video of it. It's basically because there's no flat lines. There's no straight lines in reality. We're always bending and tilting, and magnets, when they start to fall over, they spin really fast and they twist.
This is
There's something about Ian, the way he talks and the way he acts. And you're going to see more of it. You're going to get that impression even more as this goes on. He's like an abused spouse who's like really trying to avoid getting beat up again by their abusive husband. You can see it. And he looks like, if you look at his eyes, I think Ian's microdosing just to get through these episodes. I don't know like what's going on behind the scenes, but I think there's a lot of people that work here who are just, I don't know. I feel like they're walking on eggshells, but that's just my impression as an outsider watching it.
Not to face
Yo,
that.
well, that's happened
Hold
to
on,
Earth
guys.
many times.
Yeah,
I
every
can
1,000
tell from
years.
the rocks.
Okay, so I asked
From the
Rock,
magnetic-
how many times in the past 100 years was the aurora visible in Texas? And it said in the last 100 years, between 1925 and 2025, 6 to 8 times the aurora has been visible in Texas. And then it says the ongoing solar cycle has increased occurrences 4 to 5 events since 2023. That is, of the 6 to 8, 4 to 5 of them occurred in the last 2 years.
How long is this cycle supposed to last before it calms down?
It's peaking It's peaking this year, and
It's funny because the thing that Ian just said about the magnets flipping, I have no idea what he's talking about. That totally went over my head. It's funny because I'm friends with Andreas. Andreas is friends with Ian. Andreas Xertis, you might know who he is. He does his own show. He used to work with Timcast. And him and Ian are good friends. And it's the same thing that happens to me when I talk to Andreas. That happens when I listen to Ian. It's like, I don't know if I'm stupid or they're stupid. It's like the shit they're saying, it goes so far over your head. Like there's words and those words they're putting together a sentence, but trying to extrapolate what the fuck it means is very difficult. And it's funny because Ian and Andreas are friends and they both do that to me. Like they will start talking and I'll be like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm like, I don't, and you end up thinking like, am I stupid or are they stupid? I don't know. And most likely I'm the stupid one.
the lowest point of the cycle will be 2030, I believe.
Okay.
So it's now going to start going down, meaning this may be big. And then 2035, I think, would be the next big one.
Okay, so a little background. They're talking about a bunch of dark shit. The world's going to end. Let's skip a little bit ahead here. It's when it starts to get spicy. To be good.
As Goldberg's in there, it is
doesn't-
the most
it
unfair
doesn't matter
system that you could possibly come
It doesn't
up with.
matter if it's a solar storm or a flood or social disorder. This economic system is about to implode, and nothing will stop it.
Reducing cost could slow it down.
Need some
It's either
dark
gonna
music for
be
this.
Math does
No, I
Let me make sure. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit because you guys are probably going, the volume's low. Let me add this filter back. Get the gain up a little bit. There we go. All right.
I don't believe that's correct.
It's either this explodes, we go to crypto, and there's going to be a totalitarian system that comes in and saves the day, and people become part of this communistic machine, or we reduce costs by reducing fuel by creating hydrogen.
Incorrect.
Going to from petroleum to hydrogen system.
Ian,
one or the other.
Ian,
Those are the two things I
there's
see.
one thing that's wrong with your assessment. There's only 40 million Gen Alpha.
You can see it, man. You can see it. Just when I look at him, it's like a dog that's being abused. It's like when you go over to somebody's house and you see their dog, and you're like, oh, you're probably kicking the shit out of this dog behind the scenes. This dog looks terrified, bro. Either that or it's I don't know if he's taking some microdosing or something. I don't know, man. Something about Ian is just like he looks terrified. I feel for him.
Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Nothing. No system you can implement is going to change that fact.
Cheaper
That
product.
economics are rooted in the amount of people that can exist to sustain a system. Now, by all means, people say, don't worry, we'll automate those jobs. You can't automate customers. So you don't need to hire a robot to run your Taco Bell if no one's buying tacos.
But you don't need money. Money's a construct. We don't.
Money
need
is a
it.
universal trade medium to exchange labor between peoples.
Right now it is,
If there's
yes.
no people, there's no economy. So nothing you're proposing will change what is happening.
I mean, it is true. The shit that Ian says is a little stupid sometimes. That's what makes it fun. Let me find a better backing track than this fucking crap. Let's try. Yeah, we'll try
40
this one.
million. Alpha, there are people, and people can
So-
have 6 kids.
So
know,
if
they
you have
want,
if
but
you have 80 million people who are mid to high level and older, and they need 80 million entry level workers, but they only get 40 million, what happens?
H1Bs.
Well, that's not going to supply us with 40 million workers. Democrats clearly tried, but once again, you can't replace middle managers, assistant managers with Honduran farmers or cartel drug traffickers.
Our system's pretty.
Yeah, well, they're replacing them with Indians, though. Even fucking 10 plus years ago. Yeah, a lot of the managers I worked with were Indians.
Loaded. I don't think we need all the companies that exist.
Okay, agreed. Now let's pause here. And once again, we have a financial system built upon the needs of 330 million people, and we are going to have 300 million in 20 years. It doesn't matter.
No, the error in your thinking
if-
is the system's not built on the needs of the 330. The system's built by the Federal Reservists and the central
Okay,
bankers.
Ian,
that
you
are
got to stop because
fucking our
you
country
got to
up,
stop
dude.
because you're wrong. Okay, the system that we have for
Poor Ian, man.
all of its
Poor Ian,
faults
you just see it in
needs to
his face.
support the food and water distribution of 336 million people. If at any point water becomes more expensive than the labor a person can produce, the system collapses and people start massacring each other.
Yeah, water's number one.
Water's number one. If the system cannot sustain that water, fortunately, it's very easy and it can. In fact, it can with food too. The problem isn't our access to food and water. It's there are no people anymore. So this means you're not going to go to a 50-year-old man and say, you have to work at McDonald's now. He's going to say no. And then the other problem is there's a franchise that owns 10 Taco Bells, and he's going to say, it's okay.
I'd like to see
Brownie
that.
super chatted $1.99. Tim, don't you own a regular baseball cap?
I would like to see what he looks like in a baseball cap. I don't know. His face might be a little too round. I
We
don't
don't
know.
need 18-year-olds anymore. We have Optimus.
I've said it a million times. Just get rid of the fucking beanie, dude. Just get rid of it. It's not going to change anything.
The problem, your Taco Bell employed by Optimus only gets 1 or 2 customers per day. So then they say there's no point in having Taco Bell, and it shuts down. The economy will implode, no matter what, unless we get 40 million more people.
Yeah, people start having a bunch of
Yes.
kids.
It's
I
no.
just went to college.
But no,
I just
but
went to
here's the way
college
to
and interviewed
system-
young
it's,
people.
It's
I mean,
too late.
spend more time with young people.
Okay, it's too late to have the kids.
No, what are you talking about? It's never too late.
It is too late to have the kids, Ian, because Generation Alpha is already at 15 to 16 years
Why
old.
are you still here? What's the point if there's no hope?
No hope for what?
There's no hope for this system. He's not saying there's no hope for the world.
I said the system is going to collapse. Nothing you can do will stop it.
Why would you still be here then?
What are you talking?
What's
what,
the point if
are
there's
you
no
gonna-
hope, Tim?
Okay, Ian, you are consistently jumping the gun, and you're like in your own mind, off in
You
some
just told me
parallel
there's
reality.
no kid, there's no people. Right after you said there's 40 million Gen Alpha, so you use some weird hyperbole.
It is not like that difficult to understand. Like you need replacement level population. So yeah, like if you have 80 million people and you only have 40 million to replace them, all of a sudden you have a lot of jobs that you have no one to fill. So the economy is going to shrink. And our economy is based on growth. Like I agree with Tim here. But this is what I love about Ian. He just makes the show so much more entertaining.
No,
obviously
Gen
people.
Alpha is literally 42 million. That's a statistical
That's
fact.
plenty of people. That's a lot.
But you need 80 million per generation to
3 kids.
sustain.
Okay.
Okay, Ian, if you have a child today, how many years until they're 18?
18 years.
Oh my God. So how will having kids today put workers in the workplace today?
We don't.
Tim, you're destroying this boy's hope. I mean, look, man, there's a lot of people that we're just barely hanging on, man. We're trying not to be black-pilled. We're taking massive amounts of psychedelics every day just to keep from being black-pilled and to hold on to hope. And here comes Tim to just shit all over your fucking worldview and like destroy every ounce of hope you have left.
I mean,
won't.
we don't-
The system will collapse.
What workers are you looking to make right
We
now?
need to
What
repeal
workers-
child
We
labor laws,
do
is what
not
we're saying.
have enough 18-year-olds to enter the workforce to provide low-skill labor and to be the customer basis for the existing expansive infrastructure for a fractional reserve banking system that survives off of exponential growth through debt.
I agree
the
with you there.
system will collapse.
This system
period.
probably will end up, if not
Buy
collapsing,
more guns.
if not collapsing.
See, they're trying so hard. The other panel, they're trying so hard to like break this fight up. It really is like a family just trying to not piss off the abusive dad, so he doesn't beat anybody up tonight. I don't know, man. I just feel like they're all walking on
And
eggshells.
ammunition, because that'll be the new currency.
That's right.
Train.
Dude, if Taco Bell closes, a lot of people are going to be upset, JCD. But yeah, I'm not going to be that upset. I kind of hate Taco Bell.
Bottle caps.
Had to shoot.
Although the nacho fries are pretty fucking good.
Bottle caps. The point is this. The Ponzi scheme that was built in
Is that what's going on? Is he? Yeah, that would make sense. TJP says I'm not buying slot buckets, Tim. So like tomorrow we're gonna have the food buckets back here to keep yourself from having to eat your neighbors. I mean, it's funny.
1913 and in the years following it requires an ever-growing population that is impossible. The extraction of our wealth, Scott knows this, to fund wars overseas requires that you keep adding more people to the system because you're racking up debt and then shoveling more labor in it to produce more tax revenue to mask that you've extracted a labor from the system without exchanging anything for it.
Here's a question for
the
Scott
end
about it.
result is we don't have enough people and the system explodes.
Well,
implodes.
is part of that needing more people also to send them to die? Why do they send all these people to die in wars? Is that intentionally to shave
No,
off the
that's for
population?
control.
Well, I
to
mean, the
maintain
overall
control.
casualties are in the, thousands. I mean, there's 7,000 American GIs died in Iraq and Afghanistan combined.
Okay, that's not.
You
20
can add another
millions.
30,000
Let me put it like
suicides, but statistically compared to the population of the country, that's not going to hurt your overall.
Okay, let me explain it. 10 people are sitting around and they each exchange an apple with each other or a copper coin. And they all do it. Let's simplify to 2 people. You and I, Ian. I grow wheat. You turn it into bread. You give me bread. I give you more wheat. You take a little bit of the extra bread for yourself. I take the bread to eat it and grow the wheat and give it to you. That's our economy. Eventually, we add multiple layers to this. Now there's a guy who does the milling, and we say, well, hold on. How do we keep track of this? Money. So I say, I'll give you this coin and you trade it with him so that proves you did the work. He'll trade it with me so it proves I did the work. And then we can simplify the exchange so we can all keep eating. Along comes Scott, the fractional reserve banking system, and he says, let me be in
He's kind of sounding anti-Semitic, don't you think? I mean, just say it, Tim. Just say it. Just say the Jews, Tim.
charge of the money, trust me. Then instead of doing any work, he just makes another coin and then goes to me and takes my wheat from me. Then you come and say, where's the wheat? I'll say, I sold it. What? To who? How? No one did any labor. He sold it off to China.
He's got a point though. We have too many people making a ton of money producing nothing of value.
Now we're all like, we have no wheat, we have no trade anymore. He disrupted our economy.
Where's the revolution against the central banking system?
It's coming with Zoomer-Waffen and the commies.
Well, can we do it in a
Zoomerwaffen? Is that what we're calling America first now? Zoomerwaffen? That's a new one.
less
No.
drastic
Look, the
maneuver?
reality is, and
Look at him. You're going to see, look at, like, I noticed these guys are all scratching. Like, I think they're breaking out in, like, nervous rashes. Like, they're breaking out in hives. They're so fucking nervous being around Tim. Because you'll see it. You'll see it. Like, every now and then, they're just like, I don't want to piss off Timmy. Oh, no. If I piss off Timmy, he's going to make me look bad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Tim's becoming a bit of a diva. He's becoming a bit of a diva, man. I'm getting diva vibes from Tim.
Zoomer-Waffen and the commies.
Well, can we do it in a less drastic
look, the
maneuver?
reality is, and look, let me be clear for young people watching this: the communists and the far right, they don't know anything about central banking. It's the libertarians, the Austrian school economists, Ludwig von Mises and Murray Rothbard, the guys at the Mises Institute and Libertarian Institute and related organizations. George Mason University has some good people. They're the ones who understand hard money. and what real capitalism is about. And it's such a lie. And I think it's one of the most dangerous things going on in the country right now is that all young people are told this is capitalism, it's late stage capitalism, blah, blah. Well, then what's the opposite of that? They think it must be socialism. I guess if this is.
All right. People use like our fucked up, crony capitalism, and then they use it as like a justification for why capitalism sucks. And it's like, we're not getting true capitalism. This is not true capitalism.
Rusty
What's up,
Shackelford
Rusty?
super chatted $10. I like Ian as a decent, genuinely good human being. But Timmy should have never replaced Adam with Ian.
I forgot how that went down. Did Adam leave or did
Spocko
Tim
super
fire Adam?
chatted $4.99. This is hipster version of the war room scenes from Doctor Strangelove.
That's funny, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I get annoyed with the show when it's not Ian and Tim. So yeah, Adam and Tim was like probably the show at its best, because it would just, if you like me, you like heated debates and people getting upset. You like the entertainment factor to be high. Yeah, it was great with Adam. But yeah, Ian brings something that's like, I don't know, because like Tim's so like logical, but then you have Ian and he just like introduces like these crazy concepts, and it's a great little juxtaposition that leads to great moments like this.
Is private property,
guys.
then I guess we want the government to own everything, which is the most idiotic goddamn thing in the world. But to them, that's the binary choice that
In
they
any crisis,
believe they're making.
In any crisis, reason will be the first casualty.
Yeah.
So when
Read Mises now.
When this system breaks down and the libertarians go to the right and the left and say, guys, we can solve this economic issue in a matter of 5 to 10 years if we do this, the left screams off with his head and the right screams,
Go back to Reddit.
well, no, the right screams like build our communities and isolate and get away from these guys. So you'll offer the solution.
Let me skip ahead. I want to make sure I don't miss anything, but I think I'm good to go to the next timestamp. What are we at? 106? 106. 106:48. He starts getting, like, I think there's something that's eating at Tim, because he kind of like is taking it out against everybody around him.
A lot of factories. We got a lot of trucks. We got a lot of warehouses. We've got a lot of guys with strength and skill, and we have universities full of engineers.
Our
And
universities are going out of business.
Not
Well,
Rice. Rice is
The
popping right now.
communist half of them are, but
No.
the engineering schools are closing down.
so-
I hadn't heard that.
Yes, because there's no 18-year-olds to go to them. So we've seen a wave of prominent centuries-old universities closing because there's no young people. Again, Gen Alpha
interviewed him, man.
is Ian. You went to a single university.
Yeah, Rice. I
Yes,
went to the nanotechnology lab and
congratulations.
saw them
Anecdote is the
brilliant
plural
young
of anecdote
people.
is not data.
It's young people at a university. I mean,
I'm sorry, but yeah, I get why Tim gets upset, but I mean, just got to be nicer to Ian, bro. Just be nicer. But it is kind of silly. Like, well, I was just at a university and there was a bunch of young people there, and it's like, dude, that's what does that mean? The numbers are the numbers.
you said young people aren't
Say
going
it
to
again.
university. I'm
The
telling you.
plural of anecdote is not data.
But you just said there are no young people going to universities.
It is a figure of speech, Ian. Are you daft?
If you want to use hyperbole, then
It is not hyperbole. It's called a generality.
Who the fuck says daft? It's like Tim's got a weird way of speaking. It's almost like he was like raised in Britain or something. Who the fuck says daft? Why are you so daft, young chap? Like, what are we doing?
But you just said there are
Let's hear this again.
university. I'm
The
telling you.
plural of anecdote is not data.
But you just said there are no young people going to universities.
It is a figure of speech, Ian. Are you daft?
There's
Said
Mary.
there are no
Almost
young
didn't
people going
realize
to
Mary was
universities.
there.
It is a figure of speech, Ian. Are you daft?
If you want to use hyperbole, then I
It
will
is-
too.
it is-
Like Mary's too afraid to even talk, bro. Everybody's like, I don't want to be the one who gets it. If I say something, like all of this attitude is just going to be directed right at me.
Not hyperbole. It's called a generality. When
Are you
the young
daft?
generation is half
Who
the
the fuck
size of the
says that?
previous,
Rusty
universities who
Shackelford
require
super chatted
18-year-old
$5.
entrants
I forgot
don't
to
have
say
them.
that
They
as good as Ian is, he's literally REIT 4RD3D and obtuse, but Adam got red-pilled and woke up, to steal a leftist phrase.
He's retarded in a good way, in an entertaining way. Again, I always agree with Tim. But that doesn't make me not feel bad for Ian. Because Ian's a sweet boy. You could tell he is. You know? It's it's great because if we didn't have somebody like Ian, it would just be Tim sitting here talking the whole time. No one would ever like challenge him. Yeah, it would be boring. Like you need somebody to kind of poke back at Tim and get him riled up. That's what makes it fun for me.
Go out of business. If no one is around to buy lunch, your grocery store goes out of business. There used to be a restaurant down the street, out of business. Why? Nobody was shopping there. So when you have 40 million Gen Alpha, the incoming universities in the next 2 years will see a 50% shortfall in admissions. Who's going to pay their tuitions? They're going to start shutting down rapidly.
I think that's reasonable.
And
I don't know. Maybe they could offset some of the loss by making it more affordable for people to go to college. It seems like they've got like a little bit of a scheme going with a lot of these universities. There's just so much fucking money that they're making, dude. I don't know. Maybe like they'll be forced to compete and find ways to get people to go to fucking college.
this is an important, I recommend you guys.
I'm fine with the college bubble but bursting, to be honest. I'm totally fine with it.
Spocko super chatted $1.99.
That might be it.
Tim has been watching too many British dramas.
That could be it. He's got like an old-fashioned way of speaking that's like, it's almost like transatlantic, like the transatlantic accent. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how he got that. I mean, being raised from my generation in Chicago, how all of a sudden you talk like you're from the 20s. Like you're some radio guy from the 20s or something. I mean, not a one-to-one exact, but it's pretty close. Thank you, bro.
Watch Birth Gap documentary on YouTube. It's free. No society has ever recovered from this level of a birth rate.
Bro,
Not one time.
He's not wrong. Like, that is a problem. It's something Elon's talked about. It's a problem for not just America, like Japan. There's a lot of countries that are going to have this issue. Modern society, we're like, hey, stop having kids. Wait until you're older. Just, get an abortion, use a condom. And it's like, that's great. Like, we should be more responsible about when we have children. But we also have an economy based on needing the population in the economy to grow. And if it doesn't, then we go into a recession and shit gets kind of nasty. But I mean, right now we kind of almost need to go into a recession. Because for every negative, there are positives. Like if prices crash, that's great for the younger generation because now they can afford to actually invest in things when, they can actually get a job. But AI is the other thing that's, how bad are things going to get if you also, at the same time, you have the economy crashing and a population crisis. Also, you have AI replacing all these jobs. I don't know, man. I think probably people are just going to end up voting for like the most socialist fucking politicians, and we're going to end up with, just being slaves of the government for our fucking universal income.
I was raised Catholic. I don't need a documentary to tell me that. Like my whole childhood, my parents are sounding the alarm on this stuff. Like, listen, we're a contraceptive society. People aren't having children. Eventually, that has a fallout. Eventually, you can't run the economy. Eventually, nothing is able to be produced.
Is there one particular cause that you focus on that seems to be the major cause of the decline in birth rates and all that?
So the interesting thing
I'm just going to blame inflation again.
Watch
bitches, bro. Bitches being bitches.
Watch this documentary. It's actually not a decline in family size proportionate to families. People who have families have the same amount of kids proportionate to each other as they always have throughout all of history.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
But what's happened is there's a massive explosion of childless women.
But I thought but wasn't the average number of children in a family in the 60s significantly higher?
It's the same. Watch the Birth Gap documentary. It's brilliant. They point out that families relative to each other, the birth rate is the exact same. It's just that in recent history, there's been an explosion of childless women.
Feminism.
Yep.
But listen, and granted, I'll give you this is anecdotal. I can only give you my own experience without having the data. But when you talk to when I talk to my parents, when I talk to my friends' parents, they'll all tell you families with 6 kids were very common at that time, and they're not anymore. My mom came from 6. My dad came from 5, almost.
Yeah, my dad came from 8. They had 8 kids.
No one I grew up with had that
I
many.
recommend you look at the
average-
data for.
Yeah, yeah. I will.
Family size in the 1960s was 3.67, and in 2022, the average family size had decreased to 3.13.
And here's the problem.
So essentially, if we want to solve this problem, you got to find a chick and knock her up as many times as possible in your lifetime. Like, can we do 12? Can we fit 12 kids into our lifetime? And fucking do it. Guys, the problem is, you got to get women on board. The guys are on board. They're like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Let's have 100 kids. But the women, they want their careers, bro.
With that data, which confused everybody, which is why I recommend watching Birth
Yeah.
Gap. That's averaging single women along with families,
Interesting.
or that's averaging like
Is it?
yes.
Just saying, it is saying average family size.
And so
there.
that's so.
But that's
I
after
recommend
they've paired up.
So in
That's
this,
not including.
I recommend watching the documentary and going through their data, and maybe it's wrong. Maybe this documentary is incorrect, and I'm citing bad data. The point they made is we have seen an explosion of childless women, which has skewed the fertility rate lower than it used to be. But the percentage of people who had 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 kids.
Let's go
Hard-
ahead.
it is difficult to replace them.
I want to pull up this post, my friends, from Kalshi.com. Yo, check this out. Will Trump be impeached? Now, there was a big spike a moment ago for, this is actually, looks like a day ago. It was at 46% by the end of his term, or by the end of, by the beginning of 28.
This is in reaction to the H-1B thing?
I think this is just everything in general. Right now, there is a 44% projection on the Kalshi prediction market that Trump will be impeached before January of 2028. 11% says before 27, 8% before 26, and I don't know why there's, June of 26 or January of
Man, people will bet on fucking anything, won't they? It's getting insane, man. There's nothing people won't fucking throw money down on.
26. So it actually jumped up to 54, I believe, at one point.
If they win the midterms, they're definitely going to impeach.
The
I don't know. They
No
already
doubt about it.
swung at him twice and missed with impeachment. It'd be
I know, but I
pretty
think it's just to
amazing if they
slow him
tried
down.
again.
It'll derail anything the
Exactly.
administration tries to do, and that's good enough for the
I
Democrats.
I think it's going to happen.
It looks like. Can you scroll down a little bit to see
No, Ian, please, no, just be quiet, Ian.
those numbers? Yeah, how it goes 4. No, just back up. 4, 8, 11. It seems like people are just throwing it out there like they have no idea, and they're like, "Yeah, just take the 44, the latest date that they have to offer, and we'll say yeah, because maybe we'll make money on it." But I don't see any reason why he would be impeached.
Because okay, so
Palling around with Al Qaeda in the Oval Office, maybe?
What was that?
Palling around with Al Qaeda in the Oval Office?
what a great opportunity to explain to people you have not been paying attention this past week.
Oh. They are making a documentary. Andreas reached out to me and told me he was working with them on making a documentary. I think it's about graphene, a graphene documentary. I don't know, but that's pretty cold, man. That's pretty cold.
With Al Qaeda in the Oval Office?
What a great opportunity to explain to people you have not been paying attention this past week.
Ian, you've been neglecting your duties, Ian. Ian, you have not been putting in your 4 hours a day of political news research, Ian.
Oh yeah, I've been in Texas.
Donald
doing a graphene documentary.
Indeed, Donald Trump has he has a base, and the people who hate Donald Trump hate him irrationally, and they'll impeach him for any reason. Trump's only hope is that he wins the midterms by promising things to his base. Unfortunately, Trump recently came out and said he's going to do more H-1Bs, and he's going to bring in.
Actually, you think the Republicans are going to hold on the midterms? I don't know. A lot of things can happen until then, but I think if the midterms were held right now, Trump's base is Trump's base is like not very happy. I don't know if you've noticed this. I don't know how hard Trump's base would turn out right now.
And 600,000 Chinese students on visas.
So this is a reaction
base
to the midterm.
Has basically been like, I'm done. Gen Z, largely in the polls, has basically said, I'm done. And Gen Z is now approaching 28 years old. And by the midterms, they'll be nearing 30. This is a key demo that Trump needs.
Damn, that makes me feel so old, dude. Gen Z's gonna be 30. I'm old, dude. I'm so fucking old.
Isn't that crazy? 30-year-old Gen Z. Trump needs them, and they're saying, Trump, you've betrayed us. So,
Old man.
Old.
with that, Democrats are like, well, we'll vote against Trump no matter what. Now you've got younger right-leaning individuals saying, I ain't going to vote for Trump. Good luck. So Trump is now at risk of losing in the midterms. I got to be honest.
Are we cooked, chat?
The Epstein stuff is a huge disappointment, a miserable failure. The failures in to stop the Ukraine war, I'm not blaming Trump on all of this. Some things you just can't do. But when he came out and said there's no talent in America, big mistake. He shouldn't have said it. That was a bad way to say it. But to say he's going to bring in the H-1B, Scott Bessent said.
And now he's disowning, he's going to run somebody against MTG. He's completely come out against Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the fuck?
We're going to temporarily bring him in. That's a lie. And
all because she wants to introduce a bill to get control of the H-1B visa problem. And he's like, nope, that's too far. Looking after the American workers and making sure they're not getting fucked over by foreign labor. That's too far, MTG. Even though that's the stance I fucking ran on, I'm now going to disown you and run people against you. Dude, Trump has lost his fucking mind, bro.
Say he's going to bring in these Chinese workers. You might as well just say your options are the Democrats, Joe Biden, or communism.
What's up, Larry?
Larry DM super chatted $5. Want to know how the midterms will go? Trump has spent more time attacking Paul, Massey, and Green than Dems. Lamau. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, you can't predict what's going to happen between now and then, but it's at this moment in time, yeah, I would not predict the Republicans holding on to the House. You know, you have history going against you. It rarely ever happens. You have to be like next level to pull that off, and they've not been next level. And in fact, the coalition is kind of dissolving right now. So I agree with you, Larry DM. But who knows, man? Maybe there's time to right the ship.
Pick one. And people are going
to get psyched about socialism, you know? Hey, maybe you'll get some free money from the government. You won't get to keep any money you make, but you know, you'll get some free shit. Look forward to that.
Be like,
that's our future.
I'm not going to vote for it. And this is really sad. You know why? Because before Charlie Kirk was killed, my prediction was the right was on track swimmingly to such a degree that the Democrats would go nuts and there would be mass violence over the summer because of the successes we are seeing on from the GOP. J.D. Vance has been doing a bang-up job. Now with this past week, it has been an inversion almost. It's been really bad. Trump's blunders. The Epstein thing is immaterial in my opinion. Disappointment, but largely immaterial. But one of the things...
It's a big promise to the American people that we are going to get to the bottom of this. You're going to find out everyone who was involved in this, and they're going to be held accountable for this. You're talking about abusing children, man.
I don't know, immaterial. If Trump doesn't win the midterms, if Republicans fall during the midterms, that's going to be one of the biggest fucking reasons why, dude.
Yeah. Give us the truth, goddammit. What is it?
Trump didn't campaign on it.
Prior to
Oh, Mary. How you doing, Mary?
the election.
He didn't.
I like Ian a lot too, but I also really like Mary. You know? Just something about Mary. Oh, here we go. What's up, Mary? She's great. This should be the show. The show should just be Mary, Tim Pool, Ian, and Serge is all right. Serge is okay. He sits back. He just does his job. And that would be a show I would watch every night. Okay? How you doing, Mary? You doing good over there? Talking about making babies.
Campaign on it, but when
His
asked
people
about
did,
it,
though, you know.
they didn't campaign up. When asked about it, they did say yes. Because what are they going to say? No.
Right.
But I would say one of the big issues right now is for a lot of young people. We can pull up. I'll pull up one of these videos in a bit where the guy's screaming, the Gen Z guy, about how he can't find a job. His job doesn't pay him enough, and then he says, "But they got money for wars." And when Donald Trump, in 1 week, says H-1Bs, Chinese visas, and then writes a letter saying, please pardon Netanyahu, you've got American people saying...
And meets with Giuliani,
and
the Al-Qaeda guy in the Oval Office.
And the American people are saying, when are you going to focus on what we've been asking you to do? So you're basically getting Joe Biden 2.0 or communism. Pick one. That's how a lot of people are feeling.
He always was a Democrat until he ran as pretend Pat Buchanan. I mean, let's get
Yeah, Pop Culture Crisis. I watch it now and then.
Rusty Shackelford super chatted $2. It's called Pop Culture Crisis. Mary is a good one too.
Yeah, she's great. I like the show. I mean, every now and then, like a clip from Pop Culture Crisis will pop up, and I'll watch it because I'll be like, okay, what's this about? But yeah, I like Mary. She's great. And somebody earlier said she's good, but Tim always Tim does what he does. Like somebody has an opinion and Tim's like, no, you're wrong. Every time. Whatever they say, no, you're wrong. And then he's got to show everybody why he's the smartest one there.
And has he ever even read?
But shout out to Mary. She's great. She's great.
At antiwar.com/Pat? No.
Pat Buchanan? You got to stuff it into war?
I don't 30
That
years worth of
rhetoric-
Pat Buchanan's
that
articles at
rhetoric was
antiwar.com.
retired before Inauguration Day 2017. That was already gone by the time the campaign was over.
Yeah.
So you've got
look. And anytime Mary's on the screen, we definitely gotta look at the scratching. Look at the scratching.
Pat Buchanan's
That
articles at
rhetoric was
antiwar.com.
retired before Inauguration.
I think they're all fucking so stressed out. Working with Tim must be a fucking nightmare, bro. Because if it's like this during the show, imagine what it's like behind the scenes. Could you imagine Tim even being polite, just like showing up to work and being like, hey, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody had a great day. I really appreciate... No, I bet you there's no politeness. Tim, it's all fucking business. And every moment of the day is like, I have to prove how badass and smart I am to everybody. And not just that I'm smart, but I'm smarter than you. But yeah, the itching, I'm telling you, man, the whole cast is breaking out in hives, bro. They're all so fucking stressed out. Mary, look, you need any help? You need someone to talk to? I'm here for you, okay? I know life gets stressful. And sometimes having a mean boss, man, there's nothing worse than that, you know? Sometimes you just need a kind man to lend an ear to your problems. Anyway, let's keep
Day
going.
2017. That was already gone
She's
by
great.
the time the campaign was over.
Yeah.
So you've got. I'm curious about this. Right now, there's a big debate. Ben Shapiro was
Rusty
on stage.
Shackelford super chatted $2. His work literally has a skate park toe.
His work literally has a skate park, though. Didn't he sell the skate park? Or no, his actually, yeah, that's right. You're talking. I don't know if they still have the skate park. I know their old place they used to have a skate park. I'm sure they built another skate park in the new place. But yeah, that's for Tim. I don't think maybe there's a few people that skate, but like, I don't know. I'm sure it pays well. There's some benefits to the job, I'm sure. Like, cause if I remember right, Ian has a lot of freedom. Like he could literally just take off and do a documentary and not show up to the show for a week and it's fine. So I'm sure there are perks, but probably dealing with Tim's personality is probably the worst part.
Megyn Kelly, and he was.
And I'm
saying,
just speculating, obviously.
You know, Candace Owen, what she's doing is evil.
Thank
And
you
it's
for the
you
super
got to
chat.
speak out against it. And Megyn Kelly was.
Crumple this. She's not a vampire. She's a sweet, very white, probably very British or Irish. Maybe she's Irish. I don't know. Don't call her a vampire. How dare you? How dare you? She's not a vampire. Yeah, the ghost girl. That's what everybody says. She's very white, but I have no problem with that. I don't discriminate against white people. What are we talking about? Are we discriminating against white? Now there's people could be too white. Is that the problem now?
I don't look at me. And then Megyn Kelly came out later saying, I'm going to defend Candace. She never said Erica Kirk was involved. What had happened was.
Yeah, so Tim's been railing about this Candace Owens and like the whole right wing becoming like a soap opera. Yeah, I think he's really jealous of Candace, to be honest, because Candace is killing it right now.
Charlie, I'm sorry.
But I don't disagree
Ben Shapiro
with his
said something to the
criticisms.
effect of, Candace said that Erica was involved or something.
Oh, not even something like that. He said that. He said that Candace said that Erica Kirk killed him or was in on
was in on it.
Yeah,
Because Candace
declarative
Owens,
statement. And Megyn Kelly's like, what? Really?
Because Candace tweeted, Erica knows everything. Or Erica knew, or I think she said Erica knew everything. Which is an implication, of course, that if you're insinuating Turning Point USA was in on it and Erica knew what was going on, then she was either standing by to let it happen or was a part of that.
She would be an accessory if there was a plot and she knew about it.
I actually saw Candace address this on her show, and she didn't address that tweet, though, so I don't know about that. But she just said
pull tweet.
that she absolutely never said that. And she had said on her show before, and I did see her say this on her show before, that there are two people in the world that can make her give up her quest on this story, and that is her husband or Erica Kirk. And if Erica Kirk were to even just send her an email and politely request that she back down and be quiet, that she would respect that 100%.
I think it's a little stupid because you have to listen to who, like Candace herself has made it clear she's not accusing Erica Kirk. She's made that statement as well, that if Erica Kirk was to have a problem, she'll stop doing it. I wonder if that's true. I wonder if Erica Kirk could test that out and be like, Candace, could you stop doing it? I wonder if Candace would actually quit. I have a hard time believing that, but according to Candace, she would. But yeah, you're kind of like extrapolating out from what she said to be like, oh, she's definitely saying Erica Kirk had something to do with it. And I can kind of see that argument, but it's at the end of the day, it's not 100% because who is running TPUSA? So if you're saying TPUSA is behind it and all that, well, Erica Kirk now runs TPUSA. However, she wasn't running it at the time Charlie was assassinated. So I think that's who. And, you know, I shouldn't talk on it because I don't watch enough Candace to know exactly everything, every little point that she's made. But it seems pretty clear she's not accusing Erica Kirk of having something to do with Charlie's death. That seems pretty clear.
That doesn't
was
sound
3
like
days-
she's accusing her at all.
3 days afterwards, she says, Netanyahu, 3 days after Charlie was murdered, she says, Netanyahu also spoke about how he called Charlie 2 weeks ago to invite him to Israel. That phone call is lacking context. He should provide the proper context of what and who inspired him to make that call and exactly how Charlie replied to the invite. Everyday Man says, surely his wife knew all this. She'd have been there when he was feeling pressured and upset. She would know exactly what was going on. And Candace said, Erica knows everything.
Yeah, but you see here, they're not discussing his murder at all. They're discussing what the Israel lobby was saying about him and how they were saying how he was still loyal to them up to his dying day and how she was busting them.
Okay.
Proving that
So
that
the
wasn't
point
true.
is-
They're not, there was zero implication in her tweet there that she is saying that Erica knows anything about the murder of her husband. That is
Except-
absolutely not the discussion they're having there.
Yeah, I think-
and Ben
Agreed.
Shapiro is
And then
scum for lying
Candace
there.
Owens said on her show that TPUSA, it had to have been involved or an inside job.
Well, I don't know about that, but she did not say that about the man's wife
have that
for
clip?
sure. And Shapiro's lying about.
See, the scratching. Sweetheart, are you okay? Do you need a helping hand? Listen, Mary, you're a superstar, sweetheart. You're an absolute superstar. And you don't need to be on this show. You don't need to be dealing with this mean boss. You can go do your own thing. Come on. I'm telling you, these people are so fucking nervous around Tim. It's like, I've been there, man, when you have a terrible boss and like just going to work and knowing you're going to have to deal with that boss for 2 hours is like, it's like pulling teeth, man. And it makes you fucking stressed out and it affects your health. It really does affect your mental health and physical health. And Mary, I'm worried about you, Mary.
About that.
I'm worried.
That's straight up a lie. You can't
So
even.
what I can tell in that tweet,
you know.
what she's trying to communicate is like Erica was intimately familiar with his conversations and his work.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
They're
what it-
talking about his
that's what that
feelings about Israel there, not.
See, look at him with his hands. Look how fucking nervous he is. He's sitting there like, that's a self-soothing thing, okay? I'm an expert on body language, okay? That is a self-soothing thing. When you go like that, you know, some people when they're really stressed, they go, oh, like that, like they're trying to. That's what that is. It's like I'm so nervous. Please don't beat me. Please don't yell at me. Please, please. Man, the tyranny of Tim Pool on this show, man.
Talking about who took a shot at him. That is just
But this
not.
is what the right has been concerned with doing for months now. It's just policing their own, canceling their own, throwing each other under the bus.
Because
Not
of
paying
Israel.
attention to anything
semester, which would be
that
in the
we
fall.
voted for.
They would go
It's America
backwards.
first or
you don't
Israel
inst-
Hey, you guys want to let the video play?
You see how it is, man? You see, there's no chill. There's no like, hey guys, we're gonna play the video. Like it's simple, like, hey guys, 1 second, we're gonna play this video. Like, hey, you want to let the video play? Don't you hear the video playing? You fucking idiots! Look, I don't like when you talk that way to Mary. Okay?
Rusty Shackelford super chatted $10.
She could be an
alcoholic
No.
like me. I thump, like Thumper in Bambi, and scratch myself at work like a crack addict. It's kind of embarrassing.
Well, Rusty, I don't know how you deal with that, man. Alcoholism is a bitch. Maybe you know, slowly, like if you're drinking like 8 beers, you know, like just go down to 7 and then 6 and then 5 and then try to get it to like a couple beers. You know? Who am I? I can't give you advice. I'm not an expert on alcoholism. But yeah, I don't think Mary's an alcoholic. I think she's a sweet, sweet Christian woman who just needs a good, strong man.
Which would be in
I don't know. She might already have one for all I know. I don't know. But this is fun.
Spocko super chatted $4.99. It's about time you had a co-host. You two would look great together.
No, see, the problem is if I brought Mary on as a co-host, she would totally take over the show, and then I would just be pushed out after a couple years, and it would become the Mary show, and everybody would be like, "This show's so much better without Pink Trip. It's just have it with Mary." Like, no, man, she's too powerful. She needs to do her own show. Okay, she would everybody would fall in love with her, and then like no one would want me on the show anymore. They'd be like, "Pink Trip needs to shut up. Pink Trip's interrupting too much." And it would just end up being a bunch of simps that like, you know, it wouldn't work for me in the long run. She needs to do her own show, okay?
fall. They would go
Stay away from my shit.
backwards. You don't instantly get approved for an event at Turning Point USA. It reeks of an inside job. That is how I feel. And
Look, let's watch this interruption again. Let's watch Nick scold everybody.
Been
Not
concerned
Nick,
with
sorry, Tim.
doing for months now. It's just policing their own, canceling their own, throwing each other under the bus.
Because
Not
of
paying
Israel.
attention to anything
semester,
that,
which would be in the
we
fall.
voted for.
They would
It's
go
America
backwards.
first or
You don't
Israel?
See, Tim is such an asshole. He can't even wait for like a break. He can't let them finish what they're saying. And then just like give it 5 or 10 more seconds for them to finish their statement and then be like, all right, we got this clip. And it's like, no, they don't want to listen and just shut up. I'm just going to play the clip over them. And then I'm going to snap at them because they try to finish their point. Look at their reaction.
Hey, you guys want to let the video play?
which would be in the
This poor guy. This poor son of a bitch, man. Oh, he doesn't know what to expect. Like this is not a regular. Like these guys already know like how to behave around daddy to not bring out daddy's rage. But this guy's just learning.
fall. They would go backwards. You don't instantly get approved for an event
Yeah, he's definitely nervous. He's like, dude, what did I
at
get
Turning
myself
Point
into?
USA. It reeks of an inside job. That is how I feel. And the more that we learn about the story, the little changes that happen, the inexplicable things that we're learning, it becomes clearer and clearer that somehow at some layer, at some stage, Turning Point USA is involved because they're giving us no clarity. Why? Why did
That's such a fallacy. They're
I
not giving us
disagree with
clarity,
that.
therefore they're involved.
I
Makes
disagree
no
with that.
sense.
But he was absolutely lying on her that she had slandered his
Right,
widow
and that's
that
not even
way.
the
That was
point. And this is what I just
horrible
can't
to do.
stand about all of this is that Ben Shapiro said this, Megyn Kelly.
He can't even let the guy get his statement out. The guy starts talking, and as soon as the guy starts making a statement, Tim's like, okay, I'm going to jump in and just cut everybody off and take over. It's like, why even have guests, Tim? It's like the guests are just there just to fucking listen to Tim and like kiss Tim's ass and be like, you're so right, Tim. You're so right and so intelligent. And the moment I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird. It's not a good tactic as a host to constantly be cutting everybody off. Like if that's the case, just do the show by yourself or just do it with like Ian and Mary. Can't have Mary's gotta
Gave a
stay.
non-committal response. Later then came out and said Candace never said Erica was involved. And this is the retardation of the modern.
If someone says Tim has been taking days off more, I think something is happening behind the scenes. He's been talking about it for a while that like it's not worth it for him to do the Timcast IRL because it's like too many shows and it takes away the views. So he's kind of mad that Timcast IRL takes views away from his morning show shit, you know, because he does those 3 videos a day. But yeah, there is something going on. I don't know, like we might see just everybody getting fired soon. And he's threatened this a bunch of times. He's like, if I would have just stayed by myself and not done all this, I'd be better off. This was not a good idea. So there might be a point where, yeah, he pulls the plug on all this.
conservative movement
I don't
that
know.
I am completely
Something is going on.
uninterested in being involved
Yeah,
in.
dude, because eventually that's going to be
The-
AI. And then
No, I don't
what's
care.
the point
No,
of
I don't
even
care
thinking
about
See, again, let him fucking talk, Tim. Let him make his point.
that. Candace retardation of the modern.
You just interrupted somebody, didn't let them make their point. You talked for a long time. Nobody interrupted you. And then the second somebody else has something to say, you cut them right off.
Conservative movement that I am completely uninterested in being involved
Yeah,
in.
dude, because eventually that's going to be AI. And then
No, I don't
what's
care.
the point
No,
of
I don't
even
care
thinking
about that. Candace Owens is saying a bunch of dumb, retarded shit, and it.
You know it's bad when Tim's filter goes like, now he's cussing, he's saying retard on his show. Maybe you need to delete this episode now, Tim. Maybe I'm surprised he didn't just immediately delete this after he said retard.
Stupid, but she's allowed to say whatever she wants. I don't care. Tucker can interview whoever she wants. Candace can say whatever she wants on her show. I don't care. But this is not news. This is not policy. And if this is what the right has to offer going into 2026, count me out. I don't want to be involved in this obsession over true crime drama. Before Charlie Kirk was murdered, we are on track for something. Afterwards, we're divided behind Candace's e-girl.
Oh, don't say that now.
See,
dude.
super chatted $2. Maybe he caught Ian and his wife getting too close.
No, I don't think there's any. I think that the relationship with Ian and Tim is basically the same as it's always been. I think Tim recognizes Ian is fucking entertaining. He adds like a curveball to everything that is entertaining. Even if people get upset, they're like, "Oh, Ian needs to shut up." Like it's still just, it brings like something to the show that's missing if it's just Tim, pontificating of how smart he is and turning everything into a personal story about himself. But yeah, don't start rumors like that. That's nasty, C. That's nasty.
True crime drama for female listeners who want to
Thank you for the
listen to
$2
like
up.
Murder She Wrote over Charlie Kirk's murder and imply that Turning Point was somehow involved. Turning Point's doing nothing but fanning the flames. I'm so uninterested in all of this.
And again, here's the part that's hardest. I agree so much with Tim. So much of what Tim says, I agree with it. So it's like, even when I'm taking Ian's side, like, Tim, you're being a little mean. It's like, I still actually agree with Tim. And I do. This whole fucking drama around, that Candace Owens is stirring up and the Ian fucking, the other Ian, the long chin Ian, conspiracy Ian, I forget his fucking name. Yeah, it's gotten old to me, man. And it has kind of taken over the whole conversation.
Donald Trump coming out offering H-1Bs and Chinese visas, the right's bickering over conspiracy drama. We don't know what happened with Charlie Kirk. The TPUSA guys are saying clearly what the FBI is presenting seems to make the most sense. Then you've got this other faction that are like Israel, and they're screaming at the top of their lungs like retards. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't.
Well, this is a whole new Tim. He's not afraid to drop the big R bomb, man. Long chin Ian, yeah, I forget his name. Ian, fuck. You guys know who I'm talking about. Has anybody said his name here? Ian. God, why can't I remember his last name?
Care. I'm done. I don't want to have anything to do with this psychobabble garbage across the board in every faction.
Someone says Tim is an Israel shill. Watch what happens coming up here in a minute. His guest tries to bring up Israel, and Tim just like shuts him down so fucking hard.
You come to me and talk to me about tax policy, border policy, military policy, and I'm going to say, here's what we need to be doing to make sure young people can buy houses and have kids. But instead, all I'm seeing from the right over and over again is like, now there's more drama with Candace. And I'm like, that's what you're interested in, guys? I'm going to go fishing. I don't care about this. And if Donald Trump is going to come out and go on TV and say, we're going to do H-1Bs, and Scott Bessent's going to say we're going to do H-1Bs, I'm like, see you later, buddy. I got a poker game to attend to, and I'm going to make videos about Minecraft or something.
Look, I cannot fucking disagree with what Tim's saying here.
It's always like this. It's tragic, but
it wasn't before Charlie died. It wasn't.
Well, yeah.
The amount of chaos that has erupted following the assassination of Charlie Kirk is just terribly sad.
Well, and it's a great crack up. You mentioned it. It's the great crack up over Israel too. What do they hate about Tucker Carlson? They hate that he's not a Nazi. They call him a Nazi all day because he's essentially a center-right, moderate, conservative, and moral and decent guy who's turned against Zionism. And so they just cannot have that because, like, Tim, I know for you, when this Israel stuff broke out 2 years ago and you saw all of these woke communist protesters who were bad on the last 10 things in a row that you hated so much.
So this guy tries to have a moment where him and Tim can have like a reasonable agreement. And watch what happens.
And they're now...
Tim can never agree with anybody. Nope, you're wrong.
Against Israel, you're like, well, you don't want those cooties, man. Well, Tucker Carlson is saying to you that, hey, Tim, you don't have to move left to give
I don't
up
care
on
about
Israel or
Israel.
whatever.
I don't care about Israel at all.
Well, but
No
look,
one
our
is
country is
interested
implemented.
in-
It's not that it doesn't matter. It's not like it's Myanmar versus Pango here. This is America's implicated in Israel's wars. Americans die in blowback terrorist attacks because of Israel's foreign policies, and we're completely implicated in this entirely. So if you don't care about it,
Okay,
you have to be
Scott,
against.
Scott, I think
because
that we're trying to
because
I agree, because that's where I'm at. I don't care about Israel. I'm sick of hearing about Israel. But yeah, I'm America first. So for the people that are obsessed with Israel, who can't stop talking about Israel, I agree that, like, yeah, we should stop funding Israel. We should make sure that Israel's not fucking having so much influence over our politics. And yeah, we should definitely fucking get out of any fucking funding that's going towards any sort of wars. Basically decouple, man. They can be an ally, but they don't need to be fucking this close of an ally.
Like, we're not interested in the conversation over whether Tucker Carlson is or isn't a Nazi. We would actually like to talk about the substance of the issue. I
But
think
that's
what we're talking
but that's the
about.
point. Is that he's
and
not talking about Nazism. Tucker is talking about the problem of
care.
Israel and their influence in this country.
I don't
which
care
you should
about
It's a big
Tucker
deal.
Carlson debating Nick Fuentes or discussing
I don't
things
care
with
about
Nick
that
Fuentes. It's meaningless. I don't care if Candace Owens wants to do a true crime show. I don't care. The point I'm making is that
You do care. Obviously, you fucking care, Tim. I think Tim's jealous, man. I think there's a lot of people that saw that Candace now has the biggest show, and they're not happy about that.
this has become the top level of the right. The right's debate right now is not
Spocko super
it's
chatted
possible.
$1.99. I think they must have a flea infestation.
Yeah, they got too many of those filthy cats running around, probably. I don't know, man. It's maybe a flea infestation, but I honestly think it's nerves, man. I think they're all just fucking on edge every time they got to do a show with Tim. And they just had like a week of no shows with Tim. It was probably like the most fun they've ever had. They had like a week of shows where they didn't have to deal with the fucking, Tim's little monster that comes out of him. And then it's like, oh shit, Tim's back. Oh God. And all of a sudden the hives break out and they start scratching. And Ian's like, I'll be right back. I got to go microdose to get through this. I don't know. Just speculating.
over whether or not our policy is effective or what we are going to be doing moving into a midterm year. The conversation on the right is, can you believe what Candace is saying about Turning Point? And I'm just sitting there being like, I don't care. I don't care that Tucker sat down with Nick. I don't care about what Nick's opinions are. I don't care about Tucker.
Yeah, well, somebody says they care. Who said that? Where did I lose it? Somebody says they care, but what you don't realize, it doesn't matter what you care about. It only matters what Tim cares about.
Opinion. They were allowed to have opinions on whatever they wanted, and so is Candace. I am annoyed that this is the drama that everyone's engaged in. I will say it's disappointing that Candace went from talking about news to talking about conspiratard drama. Sure. And that's whatever. They're allowed to talk about whatever they want, and I'm not going to tell them not to do it. I will just say this. It is the utmost of demoralization.
But it makes sense because if you look at, like, for a long time, the biggest podcasts, like the most downloaded podcasts, are always true crime shit. Like, you get the women will fucking start listening to your podcast. You get into true crime. So, it's kind of smart if you want to have a big show.
When I go on to look up the news and it's Israel and the Jews and Turning Point killed Charlie. And I'm sitting here being like, didn't they just say that they were not, like, the airlines are shutting down? Can I talk about that stuff? AI is taking over. What about the H-1Bs and the Chinese visas?
Yeah.
All that stuff's really important.
I mean,
they're prepping an invasion of Venezuela right now.
Exactly.
Again, I agree with Tim. Mary. How you doing, Mary? How you doing? I hope you're doing good over there, Mary.
What Matt Walsh was saying just a couple of weeks ago, and people on the right attacked him for exactly what you're saying right now. You're echoing his point, which is,
Well, I like Matt Walsh.
let's stop canceling each other, throwing each other under the bus, and cannibalizing our own movement, and actually fight the left. And people then just tried to cancel him over saying that.
Particularly when, like, our biggest problems, the problems that everybody feels
Sweet Mary.
are, and I know I'm going to get beat up from the chat for this, but it's kitchen table stuff. It's the fact that groceries are expensive. It's the fact that people can't afford things.
She's like 16. No, she's of age. I don't know how old she is. She's obviously young, but she's still cute. And she's of age. Don't say she's 16. asshole.
And you have got to get that taken care of.
Try
for
to
the
make it
American
creepy.
people. Because
Ricardo.
that's what you're there for. There is a very vocal and dedicated minority that cares very, very deeply about the stuff that we're talking about. But they are a minority. The people that only check into politics once in a while and only check into politics when the grocery bill looks outrageous, those people are the ones that are going to
they're gone.
Are mobile.
And it's the Israel psychobabble as a large reason why Trump is going to lose. And, you know, I'll just put it this way. Israel's going
to... You're right. She looks like a Tim Burton character in a good way. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. She should be in the next Beetlejuice.
Going to win everything. They're going to win everything because for one, well, I'll split the baby on this one. The anti-Israel side is annoying. And the pro-Israel side can't make an effective argument to save themselves. But I can tell you this. When I go to the grocery store, ain't nobody sitting outside being like, Israel, Tim. They're going, why was my milk $5?
Well, you should go to my grocery store. I can't get eggs without somebody being like, dude, Israel. Yeah, everywhere I go, man, I try to check out. The cashier's like, did you see what's happening in fucking Palestine? Just kidding, obviously. Obviously, Tim's probably right with this point as well.
And then I go online, and what do I see?
But people get in their little bubbles where, like, everybody's obsessed with Israel, so they think the whole world, like, the whole population is just like them. And, of course, that's not the case.
Ricardo Sanchez super chatted $10 for any future legal fees. 16 for sewer.
She's 24, Ricardo. Stop it. You stop it, bro. You stop it.
Was talking to Nick
Thank you for the super
I don't
chat.
care. I don't care if you are complaining about Israel or you support Israel. The issue at hand needs to be, why is Trump bringing in more H-1Bs? But this isn't the conversation. And so I just look at it like, okay, I'll put it this way. I am frustrated because we need to win. We need to win this. And we're not going to, because the right is dejected. The left is a cult, and that's always been their advantage. And it's unfortunate, but that's going to do well for them moving forward. It doesn't matter what's true because they'll march in lockstep with each other no matter what. The right is going to start bickering over esoteric, garbled nonsense the average American doesn't care about. And, you know, I think the sad reality is what we're seeing from this is that Charlie was holding this together more than anyone realized.
Yeah, Tim's right.
And it's a combination of
Tim's
without
right
his leadership, what ends up happening. And
it's frustrating because, like, I sometimes I'm weirded out by how much, like, I'll say something and then I'll watch Tim and he says the exact same fucking thing, or he says something I'm thinking. Like, me and Tim are like always on the same fucking wavelength when it comes to like our thoughts on things, which is frustrating because I find him to be kind of annoying and a dick. But he is right. There's a reason he's got such a big show. The dude is very intelligent. He's just got to like humble himself a little bit, man. Calm down. Just like calm down a little bit. Chill out. Smoke some. Tim probably needs to smoke some weed. That's what it is. Tim needs a little weed. Or maybe some of the micro doses. Give him some of your micro. So give him some of your shrooms, Ian.
And the exploitation of his absence, what ends up happening.
Yeah.
No, Cold C, I did not have a big crush on Lydia. Okay, do not. Look, nothing against Lydia. Nothing against her. Okay? Okay? I don't want to be mean, but no, I did not have a big crush on Lydia. She was nice, though.
Charlie
nice.
Charlie was unique in that he could call Tucker, he could call Donald Trump, he could call basically anybody because he kept his relationships with everybody at a point where he could basically reach out and say, look, hey, let's talk about this. And it shows, it showed in the way that he, engaged with the left.
He set a great example in that way. He really did.
And it's a terrible loss that he's gone. But we need more people to try to embody that kind of attitude, not only towards the left, but specifically now towards people that are also on the right.
I'm going to go full conspiratard as far as I can. I actually have been thinking that watching all of this, I'm like, it can't be that the right is this dumb. I don't know. What I can say is I think the AI is taken over already.
Stream super chatted $4.99. The clock struck 1. The clock struck 2:30. Tooth emoji.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, tooth is feeling a little better. Still a little sore. I notice like when I wake up, it's fine. But then as I go throughout the day and I eat, like I had a cheeseburger today. Probably a little too much jaw movement. But yeah, it's feeling the best it's felt in a while. So
And I'm
Thank you.
wondering if there's
Thank you for the
actually
super chat.
even a path forward in regards to what we're dealing with. I'll put it this way. Either the AI has already taken over, or the development they're doing towards AI can't be stopped by the likes of us, in which case, how do you win, and can you? And I don't think that you can.
You have to be nonpartisan. If you're partisan,
It's not about
that means
partisan.
you
This
have
is
an
completely
enemy.
immaterial.
This is why they're fighting
This
on
is-
the right, because they think they're on the right. They think they have an enemy, and when there's
Ian,
no enemy,
once
they turn on
again, jumping in
themselves.
without listening to the point that I'm
Sorry to
making.
interrupt.
See, I love this, man. This is my favorite part of the show right here. This little chemistry between them two.
We are witnessing the massive expansion of data centers, the purchasing of lands for record amounts, quiet sales happening, and one theory, which is a bit more conspiratorial, is that if military technology outpaces civilian by 10 to 20 years, that would imply that the timeline for when AI is expected to actually take over our governmental infrastructure would be advanced by 10 to 20 years, which could put estimates around 2010, 2012 as to when a military AI would have already taken over. In which case, is all of this bickering just algorithmically generated so that we fight amongst each other while large swaths of land in Texas, Utah, and Virginia are purchased to create large...
Look, this is a point that I think is very poignant that a lot of people are not thinking about. And is everything organic, or are we being pushed in directions? I don't think everything's as organic on the internet as some people might believe it is. I think they are pushing things in certain directions. It's a powerful tool they have. You know, the algorithms, you know, the ability to control kind of what becomes a trending thing, what becomes something that kind of becomes powerful in the zeitgeist. They're not going to use that. They're not going to use that tool to push people in the directions they want to push them in. So I don't know if it's like the military AI doing it. You don't need any of that. All you need is the social media platforms to already kind of be in the game, you know, in the know. And then coordinating with, you know, deep state, which we've already seen is the case with like the Twitter files. Yeah, you don't really need this crazy AI to be doing that. I think it's already happening.
Black boxes with no lights inside of them to run the machine, because that's literally happening right now, whether we care about anything politically. You go to the Northern Virginia, it's called the Data Corridor, and they're running 7 gigawatts of power into Northern Virginia, of which 5 gigawatts is unaccounted for.
Yep.
And this is the major intelligence hub for the CIA, NSA, et cetera.
And people can totally be manipulated, like you're saying. That algorithm, you just assume the algorithm is there to keep you there to generate ad revenue, but not necessarily. They could have other motives. Remember the Facebook experiments that they did in manipulating people's moods, see if they could make them happy, sad, anxious, whatever they want. And so it's all in the algorithm. All you got to do is turn that dial.
And the reality is,
well, yeah, it's right now. The thing that generates the most engagement and clicks is pissing people off. That's why you see on X, it's all rage bait. Like people will literally make a video, or they'll make a post on X about like, you know, this hot chick that everybody knows is hot, and they're like, oh, she's ugly and blah 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 blah. And it's like the only reason they're saying that is because people are gonna start arguing with you, and it's rage bait. But yeah, there's that. There's the like you can actually affect people's mindset throughout life, but also you can just mislead people and get them thinking about things that kind of sidetrack them from what they should be thinking about, and just feed them lies, really.
Advertising works at scale, and if it didn't, Coca-Cola wouldn't be buying billboards. And that means you can be as smart as you want, or think you're smart, like in my case, and think you're identifying that maybe these AI systems have already begun to pressure us so that it can expand itself quietly. I wonder why it is you've got these have you noticed these firms buying up residential properties 30% above market? It was a big story we covered a few years ago, that people would go to buy a house, a couple, and they'd put in an offer for $300K in the bungalow, and then they'd say, we got an offer at $330,000, and they'd say, who put in $30K above market, a 10% above market? And turns out it was these big faceless firms buying up property. One thing that is very interesting is that In order to expand these data centers, you need 100 to 300 acres. But we don't parcel out land like this in these corridors. They're parceled out by the acre, sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Rarely do you see a 300-acre plot, which means companies are going to have to buy up individual acreage and bulldoze them and then create 300-acre campuses, which is then really interesting that quietly property is being bought up like crazy in the Northern Virginia data corridor. And no one pays attention to this stuff. And then I'm looking at the internet.
It's homes that they're buying up, single-family homes in the suburbs that they're buying.
And
it is crazy, man. The amount of power needed. Like, they're just gonna take up all this fucking land just so people can do their little prompts. You'd be like, how do I make apple pie?
For that land.
That's some
They
really
could chat to their AI girlfriends.
expensive land, right? God.
Yes, there was a record sale in Virginia, 96 acres at $615 million, $6.3 million per acre. We're 20 miles away from there, and where we're at goes for $50,000 an acre, and they sold $6.3 million per acre.
All right, so that's about it. I was watching it last night. I was like, yeah, let's react to this. Just like, what the fuck, man? Tim needs to like calm down, bro. I feel bad for his cast. I feel bad for his workers. So remember last night we were watching this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's introducing a bill to end the mass replacement of American workers by aggressively phasing out the H-1B program, which is something Trump has ran on. Something up till recently, you would think, oh, this is something Trump's gonna love. Trump's gonna back this, right? No. Trump pulls his support for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Prepares to primary her in Georgia. I am withdrawing my support of endorsement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown. Bro, shut the fuck up. Closed borders. Okay, look, that is a victory. The border being basically the crossings being basically nothing now. That's a victory. I'll give you that. Okay, good job. Low taxes. No, you fucked that up. You failed on that. No men and women's sports. Okay, I'll give you that one. Ending DEI. Okay, that's another victory. Stopping Biden's record-setting inflation. Well, you lowered it. It's not as bad, but did you really stop it? Or was it just always going to calm down the further we get away from all that money printing? I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's not as bad. Biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars. He keeps saying that the 8 wars. What are the 8 wars that he stopped? Rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world. Okay, well that's, yeah, I guess, as opposed to being the laughing stock. So all of this just to throw Marjorie Taylor Greene under the bus. And having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago. Okay, dude. All I see wacky Marjorie doing is complain. She's representing her fucking constituency that are complaining to her because they can't afford rent. They can't afford food. The job market's shit. Wages aren't going up, and they're not seeing any movement to solve any of these problems that the average American is facing. In fact, they're seeing you saying that we're too stupid to actually do these jobs, and we have to keep bringing in the workers that are deflating the wages of the average American worker. So, yeah, she's responding to that. All I see wacky Marjorie do is complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12%. Well, look, Marjorie doesn't have, I like her, but I don't think she has that it factor to really be like a president. But, yeah, make Georgia better. She might be able to win governor of Georgia. That's possible. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset and that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. This is so fucked up, dude. Is this not fucked up that he's doing this to MTG, who has been super loyal to him, but also still loyal to the ideology of America First and what the fucking voters wanted, why they voted for MAGA? This is fucked up, bro. She has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, blah, 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 and otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia. Yeah, a neocon. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a Ben Shapiro fucking Mark Levine style neocon. That's what we're gonna get, dude. I can't take a about where are we at? I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they are too fed up with her and her antics, and if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left. That's what's happened. She's gone far left. What the fuck? Who is talking to? I mean, people say you got to stop blaming the people around Trump. This is Trump. This is Trump. This is retarded, dude. So now, like, having the fuck believing in the things that you ran on Trump, that you got the voters like hyped about, and sticking by that, like, that's far left now. That's fucking insane, dude. Even doing The View with their low IQ Republican hating anchors, so they're mad that she did The View. Thank you for your attention to this matter, dude. This guy is losing his fucking mind, bro. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's like, you look back at the Trump from 2017, like, he has aged a lot. Whatever's going on, man, it's not for the best. It's not for the best. Nick, this is Nick talking about Epstein, and yeah, I'll just play this with no comment.
Mythical I percent $25. We have to keep fighting forever. But the name of these people's game is revenge. And I believe if they ever do accept defeat, they do what they can to enact revenge by destroying our financial institutions they control and the entire banking system for us turning on them.
Here's the thing. Everybody would say, I would never go, me, Epstein Island, I would never. And it's like, dude, you're telling me.
I wouldn't.
Jeffrey Epstein was probably so cool. Like, he was probably the coldest, coolest guy you know. You're telling me the coolest guy you know who knows everybody says, hey, we're going to go on my private jet to my...
First of all, everybody that talks about Epstein, they don't say, oh, he was such a cool guy. They're like, he was really weird. Kind of weirded me out the way he acted. I don't know. I kind of don't think I would have gone. Right? Like, I get what he's saying. Like, oh, super billionaire guy wants to invite you to an island with a bunch of hot chicks. And you're like, oh, that sounds like a good time. That's a good thing for me that I'm like kind of a homebody who's gotten past my partying phase. It's like, no, actually, I think I'd rather stay home, smoke weed, and play video games.
A private island. We got hot girls.
Do live streams.
It doesn't tell you how old they are. How fucking lame would you be? Are they 18? Like, who's going to be the nerd that asks that? You probably would just assume they are.
So now you're a nerd if you want to make sure that they're over 8. I mean, it's not a nerd. It's actually smart, dude. Okay? Because there are some women that will fool you who are below 18. But yeah, I guess that makes you a nerd now. You fucking nerd. Trying to make sure they're 18.
That it's in international waters, so it doesn't matter, you know? But like, you're telling me you would automatically say, no. Like, you don't know what's going on. All everybody knew was that he was the coolest guy in town. The coolest guy in town says, hey.
When was Epstein ever the coolest guy in town? When was this?
I'm rich, private island, private jet, hot girls all week. Let's go. Great food. You're telling me you'd be like, are they, Jeffrey, are they all 18 though? You're telling me you would be the nerd that would ask that? You have the balls to say that?
It wouldn't be a bad idea if you show up and there's a bunch of underage looking women to be like, are they 18? I get it. He's trying to be
Honestly,
funny.
That just sounds kind of gay, to be honest with you. Could you imagine?
Dude, you're not the decider over what's gay or not, Nick. Okay, you lost that privilege when you went on a date with a cat boy and started blasting gay porn over your stream on accident, or it was hacked, right? That's what it was. It was hacked.
And you're like, take Epstein out of it for just a second. What if it was like someone you knew in real life and he's like, dude, we got girls, we're going to a party, it's going to be great. And you're like, wait a second. You pull them aside. Can I see their IDs? Like, no one would say that. So you could see. But look, this is how he entrapped people, because this is how people are. Now, fortunately for me, I'm an incel. I don't get invited anywhere. You know, even my friends don't invite me to shit. They don't invite me to their parties. And,
It's probably because you say no to fucking everything, dude. That's what happens. When you keep saying no, people will stop inviting you.
nobody invites me to anything. And I'm a party pooper. I don't drink. You know, I don't sleep around. I don't even, as a matter of fact, I don't even sleep. I'm awake all night. So, you know, that's why you're lucky. People say, when are you going to, you know, get pussy? When are you going to get mad pussy? First of all, I'm an incel. Second of all,
That's such a fucking cop-out. I'm an incel. You're not a fucking incel, bro. An incel would mean that no women want to sleep with you. Clearly, there are women that would be willing to sleep with Nick, okay? It's fucking stupid, dude. I can't stand this shit when people call themselves incels when they're clearly fucking not.
you want to see me on Epstein Island? Like, that's how it starts. That's how it starts. And then Joel Greenberg is like setting it up at a hotel room, and you don't even know where you are, what you're doing. So I don't know. If Epstein invited me, I would certainly consider it. You're telling me you wouldn't. I would certainly think about it. But in the end, I think I would say no. I think ultimately I would that would prevail.
Life sent $50.
I don't know, man. You know, people are going to run with that one. They're going to run with that one. This is pretty hilarious. So Alex Jones would, to destroy the deep, if he had to throw himself headfirst into a wood chipper to destroy the deep state, he would do it without thinking.
I'll live under a bridge to see Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Brennan in prison. I mean, I'm serious. If I could guarantee that the deep state would be dismantled and they'd be destroyed, and we could turn this around, I would say, if they had a big wood chipper going, an industrial wood chipper, and they said, and literally God appeared in front of me, or an angel, and it was 100%, you know, Alex, if you throw yourself head first into that wood chipper, right now the enemy's defeated. I wouldn't even think. I'd just be like a Marine jumping on a hand grenade. I'd be like, right into the wood chipper. Okay? I mean, I'm totally committed to this. These people are pure evil. They've got to be defeated. Countless billions of humans will be.
I don't know. It's just fucking a ridiculous image. Like, when is that going to happen? Someone's going to show up and be like, hey, Alex, I'm the deep state guy that runs everything. And if you just jump head first into that wood chipper right now, I promise we're going to dismantle the deep state and it's going to be gone. Or maybe it's God, you know, God's like, you know, do you want to get rid of the deep state? I'll do it. Just head first into a fucking wood chipper. Alex, don't do it. It's a trick, bro. If anybody's trying to get you to jump head first into a wood chipper, Alex, don't trust them. It's a fucking trick, okay?
Freed by this. Future generations, I mean, we're at the crossroads. So I'm fully committed to all this. And I need Trump to succeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could jump head first into a wood chipper. It's like, head first into a wood chipper? Yeah, okay. Let's check in on some of the ladies. Let's see how they're doing. This lady is looking for a dude who's at least 6'2". Let's see how it's working out.
So I paid for HingeX, and I literally ran out of people on day one. I paid for whatever the most expensive Hinge membership is. I did 1 week, and I'm pretty sure it's HingeX, but whatever the $25 a week one is, I paid for 1 week. I ran out of people in 1 day. I have only had the membership for 1 day, and it's already saying, oops, we're out of people. Change your parameters. You know what my parameters are? My parameters are 6'2" and above.
Oh, what a surprise.
Anywhere between age 29.
I wonder how tall she is, too. Like, look, I get it for tall chicks. Like, you want a guy that's taller than you. You don't want to be taller than your dude. Okay, I get it. At a certain point, it becomes a little stupid, though. Like, when you're hard up and you're really like, okay, well, I have to find a partner for life. I want to have a family. But then it's like, oh, but I will not concede. No matter what, it has to be somebody over 6'2". And it's just so fucking dumb. It really gives away the game that women, it's not about love. You don't give a fuck about love. You're shopping. You're going shopping for a man. You're not out there looking for love and a lifetime partner who's going to cherish you. And no, you're shopping for a man like it's a fucking handbag.
And 34. And then I bumped it up to 35, ran out of people again. How is there no one between the ages of 29 and 35, 6'2" and above in LA?
You're just not hot enough for them, to be honest. Because all you chicks have made their fucking, for dudes that are like 6'3", and they're decent looking and they got a good job, you've turned them into like unicorns to where they can just fuck any chick they want. And to be honest, you're just not hot enough for these fucking alpha chads. To be honest, that's probably what's going on. Either that or, you know, there's not that many dudes that are that tall. So it's a tiny fucking amount of people you're trying to like, just move it to like 5'9", and all of a sudden, oh, a lot more people. But oh no, that's not going to impress your stupid bitch friends, is it? If you date a dude who's 5'9", your stupid bitch friends are going to be like, oh, you're dating a short king. We gotta make it illegal for women to have female friends. I know, I'm just joking. But at a certain point, women get ruined by their stupid fucking cliques that they hang out with.
This is one of the biggest cities ever. I don't know if I'm just not attracted to the people that they're showing me. Like, they weren't cute. I'm going to be so honest. But I like tried to give a few people a chance. I think I sent maybe 2 or 3 likes. 2 or 3 likes out of everyone, and I've already ran out of people. It's day 1. I keep going back to the app. There's no more people.
I guess you're just going to die alone then. I guess you're just going to die alone, a sad, desperate fucking death surrounded by your cats who will eventually eat your rotten corpse. And then weeks later, somebody will show up and be like, man, it smells really bad in here. And they're going to be like, oh yeah, this is old lady. She died and it was ugly. Her cats were eating her. That's you. That's what's going to happen to you. All because you can't fucking date a dude who's not 18 inches taller than you. I wonder how tall she is. She's probably at most like 5'7". Like seriously, just lower it to 5'10". Hell, 5'11" maybe. But oh no, it has to be under 6 feet because the difference between 5'11" and 6 feet is so huge. How am I ever going to be happy if I can't date a man with a 6 before his height? This is a self-caused problem, lady. It's self-caused, 100%. It can be self-fixed if you weren't a retard. This is our future, boys. Get ready. Get ready. Start preparing now. Start getting the materials. Have it ready. So when shit hits the fan, you can go find some fucking lot of land and build your little fucking, your little home. Your little self-made shack. This could be the future, man. Let's see. I'll be honest, watching this kind of makes me jealous. So I'm like, dude, I want to build my own. I just want to find some land and build my own fucking house and be like, yep, this is my lot, you know. But yeah, obviously it doesn't work that way. Not yet. There might be a point things get so bad that the government's just going to like the same way they're doing it in like a lot of these liberal cities where they're like, yeah, people are camping on the street, but you know, people can't afford a place to live. They might get to a point where they're just going to like turn the other eye when it comes to people just building their own fucking homes out in the woods. They want to take your shit. They decide, yeah, that's nice. Then they just show up at like 3 a.m. and like, leave. It's ours now, or we're going to beat your ass. Like, what's your recourse? You can't go to the city and be like, oh, they stole my house. That's not even legal. Not even supposed to be there. Yeah, I bet you someone steal. You guys, if that was an Airbnb, would you guys rent that shit? I mean, I would. They better give me a good price, though. Oh, here's another one struggling. These poor women, they're struggling so hard out here.
Lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25.
Yeah, guys, we're the lucky ones. Did you guys realize that? We're the lucky ones, not the women. It's the guys.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her...
Actually, it's later than that. You can literally wait till your 50s. For not all men, but some men. They hold it down in their 50s. They can go fucking start another family in their 50s. In that sense, we do have it better than women in that sense. But sweetheart, you're at a period of time where you could literally rule the fucking world. But you're in your own fucking way. You're in your own way because you're going by these ridiculous standards. Like, my dude has to be this, rather than just go out, meet some dudes, spend time with dudes. Right? spend time, hang out, go on multiple dates, and then see who you catch feelings for. Give yourself time to catch feelings. Instead, you're just like, he doesn't meet all this criteria that I laid out. I can't accept that. He has to meet all these criteria. You're not shopping, lady. You're looking for love. Figure it out.
Fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury.
And stop recording videos of you crashing out in your car, because men don't like that.
I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out. So 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child.
She's crying. She's probably got like 40 guys who are ready to fucking lay it down and like throw a ring on her, dude. She's probably got a huge amount of guys, but none of them are good enough. None of them are good enough.
Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things.
You'll never let yourself be happy, though. You're the problem. You're the thing standing in between you and your happiness.
But people don't want that nowadays, it feels. It feels like no matter, it's like, what is this dating stuff? What is Hinge? What is Tinder? What is all of this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder.
Well, then just do what women used to do before that. Like, meet guys around, like, you know, when you're walking down the block and you see a guy in your neighborhood, be like, hey, how you doing? Strike up a conversation. Meet the guys that are locally to you and then pick from them. But they're never good enough, are they? They're never good enough, right? You got to go and see thousands of guys so you can find that one guy that meets every single criteria you've ever fucking thought in your pretty little head in your entire life.
And it's like, I hated it. I hate it. I ended up deleting my Hinge and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's just like I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there like a magazine going through like clothing. That's what it feels like.
Well, yeah, because that's how you're treating it. Because you've been influenced by all the dumb bitches on social media and probably in your friend group to treat dating like shopping. Like you deserve to have like the perfect idea in your mind of what a man should be and no less. Rather than let me meet a bunch of dudes and see which ones I catch feelings for. The old-fashioned way.
And it's like, I don't want that. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
Yeah, now Colt C, I wouldn't want to give her a wholesome life. Look, when women make crash out videos in their car and they're crying like this, that's a warning sign. That's a warning sign. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a man out there for her, but it ain't me. It ain't me. This is pretty funny because this pretty much sums up what I've been saying. This is from a pollster, so you can discredit what he's saying, but this is a guy who knows what he's talking about. And when Steve Bannon asked him, like, what do the people want? He says, basically, they want Nick Fuentes, but without the anti-Semitism, which is my point I've been making this entire time. Like, Nick, you're in such a sweet position. But there are problems here, and that's what it is. It's like, so that's Tucker to me. Tucker is Nick Fuentes without the anti-Semitism. So that's why he might be the powerhouse that might be able to replace Trump. We'll see if he's even willing to. Or Alex Jones.
So in your polling,
that'd be
talking to people,
that'd be a fun election cycle, wouldn't it? Tucker and Alex Jones running for the Republican nomination.
Because I know a lot of people are coming to you. What are they exactly looking for, sir?
I mean, a return from clown world. Basically, if you strip anti-Semitism out of Nick Fuentes' package, like that's pretty much it. It's not traditional conservative values. It's a return to the America that was stolen from them, and especially the young people. And
I think Nick's finally getting the message because I'm seeing more clips from Nick where he is kind of giving more details about how he feels, like denouncing, like, what was it, Dave Portnoy? Somebody screamed at him like fuck Jews or something like that and threw some coins at him, and Nick was like, oh, don't do that, that's stupid, that's not nice, you know. So I think Nick's kind of pulling back a little bit from his edgy boy phase. But yeah, that is kind of what we need. We need America first without the anti-Semitism. Without the fucking, I mean, when I say anti-Semitism, I mean true anti-Semitism, not just criticizing Israel. But yeah, that's, I think, what could win in the election. And you could look, if you are, like, again, you're like a Tucker and you're criticizing Israel, like, what's going to unite people on the left and right more than the topic and subject of Israel. That seems to be a point where like a lot of people on the left and right actually agree. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to call it, guys, because, yeah, it's almost about 2 hours. And my toothy is hurting again from all this talking. So I'm going to go ahead and call it before it gets any worse. Thank you, guys. I hope you all had fun. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what we're talking about tomorrow, but whatever cool shit pops up. Nick's clips are hilarious for a Fed boy. Nick is a funny guy. I know, but it would be a wild election. Yeah, MQ, I would love it, dude. We need to get all the wild characters. Like when Trump ran the first time, remember how many people were on stage for the Republican primaries? It was a ton of fucking people. We need that situation again, okay? We need to really just have that battle, bring in as many characters as possible. I mean, obviously, you're going to have the J.D. Vances. Maybe Rand Paul will run again. You know, and then, you know, throw in the Alex Joneses, the Tucker Carlsons. Nick's too young, but it would be fun if Nick could run as well. And just like, let's go to war. Let's go to war within the Republican primary. You know, let the Ben Shapiro, Mark Levine, you know, they'll have somebody representing them, the pro-Israel side. And then let's see who wins. Let's just go to war. But yeah, much love, guys. Thank you so much. Been a fun show. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great Friday night, guys. Thank you for all the support, and smash the thumbs up on the way out. Links in the description if you want to become a member, or if you want to support on Patreon. Also to join the Discord, which I'm in there right now. Come in there and say hello. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one.
Please subscribe and hit the like. And ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.